My husband, the love of my life, just confessed he's been sleeping with our neighbor. I left my husband 4 days ago when he told me he had an affair with a neighbor. It lasted a little over a month. He confessed to me because he was so full of guilt. He told me they started out just saying hi when passing out on morning runs. It gradually grew into them talking and running together, then escalated to going to her house and having that I suspected something was off. He has been cold and distant. Sometimes he would be short with me. He wasn't interested in with me, so it stopped completely. I suspected an affair. My husband has always been wonderful. We were always so affectionate and communication was on point. We were wanting to have a baby soon, and before the affair we were trying exclamation. When he told me about the affair, he was just sick. He couldn't explain why he did what he did. He claims he hadn't fallen out of love with me. He was attracted to her physically and was infatuated. He came to his senses, broke it off. She didn't take it well. He begged me not to leave and wanted to get counseling. He was seriously a wreck. I felt he was remorseful, but I was just sick with betrayal and mistrust. The coldness he treated me with just broke my heart. I went for STD testing and panels, and I was just a mess. I can't believe my marriage was at this point. I stayed for a few days after, and he is trying everything to make things right. But I feel so sad, sick and numb. I am broken-hearted. Anyway, I told my husband I couldn't be with him anymore. I didn't say divorce, but I said we were done. I asked him to leave. He was very upset, but he did. He's at a hotel. As I said, she didn't want to let go so easily. She wanted to leave her husband, and was trying to convince my husband to leave me. He wouldn't. We have been married 5 years. We have one child, a boy. He's 3. She has 3 kids. My husband is visiting our son every day after his long shifts. He's an ER doctor, so he works late. He asked if he could visit our son and tuck him in at night. Of course, I said yes. Sunday after Halloween trick or treating, my husband asked if we could talk. I don't know how I got myself into this, but he really pressured me into. We talked and maybe I drank a bit too much. I was upset and guilty for feeling down on Halloween. I felt it was taking away from my son. Next thing I know, I am getting out of the shower and he put the baby in bed. He's all over me, begging me to forgive him. He's on top of me, kissing me and then having with me. I definitely didn't want. I was tipsy, but I told him no. He's just trying to convince me to give in. Let him show me he's sorry, etc. I was uncomfortable with all of this. He ends up sobbing after it's over, saying he add up our marriage and he wants to die. He's so ashamed and embarrassed. He's doing horrible at work. Leaves early, he can't get his head right. He's saying over and over again, "What have I done?" I believe he's remorseful. But I don't know what to do. I have lost respect and trust for my husband. I keep having this image of him making love to her. Him avoiding with me. But now he's all over me! During he didn't have a condom with me, and he didn't withdraw. I was just shocked. I asked him what the he was doing, ejaculating inside me. He was aggressive. He would just hold me down harder. He apologized, but he's losing it. He's never been like that with me ever. He seems like he has changed. He's begging me to forgive, but I feel like our marriage is a mess. I do not know if I can conjure up the willpower to mend a broken marriage. I don't know if love is enough once trust is thrown out the window. Today he called me and said he was so sorry for what he's put me through, sent roses and spoke on how he's too ashamed to face our family. They're so disappointed in him. I am too. I feel so sick and I can't stop my mind from racing. Maybe divorce is the only option. I just cannot believe I am going through this. I thought I was the love of his life. Will I live through this? Should I cut my ties with him and move in with my lifey? Have a hard time trusting. Now my husband/best friend broke my heart. I please some advice on what I should consider for my next move. I'm so broken I could just cry. Update. My husband cheated on me with our neighbor. I told her husband everything this morning. It turns out that he wanted to meet me. Why? My husband told him the day he confessed to me. He told him everything. He was trying to break it off with her and she wouldn't have it. She started blowing up the hospital phone looking for my husband. My husband was taken into the director office because she was causing so much trouble. Her husband left her, put her out. She's gone to her sister out of state and he has the kids. He asked me if I needed anything. He was very kind, but he respects my husband for coming to him. Apologize, and my husband was telling him he was going to lose his family. He says my husband was an absolute mess. He also said that his wife has cheated before with a high school ex-boyfriend she found on Facebook. I didn't tell him about him forcing himself on me. Until Reddit, I honestly didn't know that your husband could assault you. I have spoken to a lawyer today. He said yes, spousal rape is a real, but incredibly hard to prove. Also, he has a right to our home. He comes in with his keys. This evening he showed up out of the blue. He realizes he hurt me during. He realizes he did something wrong because he corners me in the kitchen. I was giving him space and time with his son. He is respectful towards me. He hasn't demanded to speak to me or harassing me. I was in the kitchen trying to eat something. He did corner me, asked me to hear him out after I said please I don't want to do this. Seeing him is heartbreaking. He was my best friend. The one person I went to when I needed advice or to cry. Now I can't, so that is hard. He apologized for being aggressive with me the other night. He realized that he was wrong for not being more concerned with my feelings, but he just wanted to make love to me. He thought I would realize how much he loved me. He couldn't stop once he started. He claims to be losing his mind. He is taking a mental health leave from work. I have to ask my lawyer about changing the locks, because he made me feel really uncomfortable tonight. He lied and said he would leave after giving the baby a bath and put him down. He would be in a complete opposite side of the house. He comes into the kitchen again. He puts his arms around me. He was hugging me, but he wouldn't let me go. He didn't hurt me, but he was saying please let me hold you. I love you, please don't leave me. I will do anything to make this right for you. I love you, I'm sorry. I felt terrible, but I didn't give in. I don't think I can ever get over this. I have people telling me to leave. Others saying he is remorseful, but I don't think I can trust again. His actions have broken 2 homes. The hearts of many young kids, their lives will never be the same. My life will never be the same. He's told his best friend, which is my friend's husband. He's been confiding in him and telling him that he is not losing me. He won't. To me that sounds threatening, because he is never mean or hostile towards me, but he can be. I have seen him in argument and a fight with other men. In college he beat the HE out of a guy. He's pretty tall and muscular. I'm 5'7" and 125. I just can't help but think of women being murdered by men they loved. I fear that. What if I tell him about the lawyer and wanting a divorce? What if he won't have it? He's always been in love with me. I'm not saying it in a braggish way, but he has always been protective of me and a bit clingy and always says he doesn't want to ever live without me. It was good when things were good, but now, it's not so good. Considering I am considering the divorce. People change. He's always been good to me. He's always taken care of everything. I have a medical degree too, in medical science, but I never worked long in my field. So he is definitely the moneymaker. I do control the finances. He's always open and generous. But if he finds out all the things I did today, he may change. He definitely has a temper. That's my fear. Story 2. Why do guys act differently after they finally get you? I, 20F, and my boyfriend, 20M, has been together for 6 months. He's changed a lot from when he first tried to court me up to now. He used to be sweet and nice. Now he seems so dull and unhappy. I try to talk to him about it and ask if he's okay, or if there's anything bothering him in or outside of our relationship, and I always let him know that I'm always here for him, but he always says he's fine or there's nothing wrong. I laugh a lot, and recently he's made comments about me laughing too much and how it annoys. I couldn't find a better way to explain it. English isn't my first language. Him because I laugh constantly and over the smallest things. I've offered to mute myself on our call, and he says it's fine. And when I get quiet he asks me why I'm not laughing anymore or anything. The other day I laughed over something in game and I caught myself, and I started to feel so sad because I had to stop myself from being the way I am so he wouldn't get upset with me. In a way, I feel like he's mentally checking out, and I ask him about it and he says it's far from that. That he loves me and wants to be with me for the rest of our life. At the beginning that's all I ever wanted because I do love this man, but now the thought of spending the rest of my life with someone I can't even be my full self with sounds like torture. I just wish he was like the way he was at the beginning, and I wish I set straight a lot of stuff from the very beginning instead of waiting until it bothers me. Also important note, his aunt has recently passed, and I mourn with him and am always here for him if he needed a shoulder to cry on, and I make it clear, I've been using his aunt as an excuse for his behavior for myself, but he started acting this way before his aunt even got on life support and passed. I am trying my best to be an understanding girlfriend and to be there for him. That's why I am trying to understand his thoughts and feelings even though I lack it since he doesn't want to talk about it and keeps saying he's fine when he's clearly not. So all I can do is fill in the blank with my own assumptions, which is never the best because he and I very different people.